Seeing these aircrafts in the sky over central Indiana, all information, and maybe you're wondering, what are they doing up there? Our Brad Brown met the men flying those planes, and he's giving us an inside look at how they do it.
The machines are classic pieces of aviation history, meticulously restored and looking just as good as their first takeoff.
We call them sport biplanes. They're made for aerobatics. They do about 150 miles an hour, give or take, covered in fabric. They have wooden wings.
The men that fly these planes, they're all a little bit classic as well.
I soloed an aircraft before I was driving a car alone.
I flew spray planes for a long time, for 22 years, crop dusting.
Got my first job at an airline in 1978 and spent 40 years flying commercial airliners around the world.
These pilots are part of the Indy Biplanes Club, flying out of Metro Airport. Far more than just a hobby, these guys are taking their passion for flight and paying it forward.
We started getting these feel-good stories from people on the Facebook site saying, you know, you flew over and it made my day, that kind of stuff, which surprised us because we're just out having fun. So we kind of started making that our mission.
Today's mission, a 5-plane formation flying over the Ironwood Golf Club, a fundraiser outing for NeuroHope, an organization that provides extended rehab for people with spinal cord injuries.
We said, look, this is the only fundraiser we're doing this year. We want to be safe, we want to be socially distant, but we can still do a golf outing in a safe way. And when you add elements like a flyover and those pilots, it's like that extra little bonus point to an event.
Now let's say you're given an invitation to fly along with this crew, sitting in on the pre-flight briefing and eventually climbing into the front seat for an exhilarating experience high in the sky over central Indiana.
They'll just do a little bit more than your average Cessna or your average Piper. They roll a little bit faster. They're a little bit more tricky to land and take off, but that's part of the challenge.
I had Monty manning the controls behind me. From more than 3,000 feet in the air, an up-close look at the amazing precision that these pilots possess to put those formation flights together.
We are upping our game continuously because pilots are always looking for a challenge. And that's the reason we get in. One of the reasons we get into it is because you can never be the best. You can only be your best.
It's nothing but fun. Yeah, particularly for me, after spending 40 years of going straight and level and trying to keep people from being upset, that I get to twist and turn in this thing now is a big benefit to me.
The biplanes took part in some Hope flights earlier this year, dedicated to first responders and healthcare workers during the pandemic.
It was just so tough for everybody, being stuck at home, nothing to do, they can't go out. And we got the idea, we're like, you know, we can be people's entertainment and bring it to them.
A chance to spread a little love from high above during difficult times.
Both of my parents were very civic-minded and presented a very good model for my brother and sister and I that community service was important. So for me, being retired now, this is my first opportunity to give back.
Working for you in Fishers, Brad Brown, WRTV.
Very cool. Thanks, Brad, for that. And the group is entirely self-funded, and the flights are all for charity. For more info and to inquire about a flyover, search for Indy Biplanes on Facebook.